the service, but it has already begun. Nonetheless, 4:30. is different from almost any other instrument because it is made up not just of bells but of ringers. And if you're missing a ringer, you do not have those notes. We have a different set of bells for our second piece, so they're doing some trading. Now, our first piece was actually an Epiphany piece. Epiphany doesn't start until the 6th of December, of January. We had a real Epiphany in Washington a few years ago, on the 6th of January. So we're doing these in reverse order, in essence. We're starting with Epiphany, and then we go to Christmas, and then we go back to solstice, which has already happened. So our second couple of numbers, starts with a Polish lullaby. I have a couple of new neighbors from Poland, so I wanted to include that. And then it goes to Santa Lucia or Lucia, depending upon where you're from. Now, Saint Lucia was started out as an Italian saint and an Italian song, but was sort of usurped by the church for Christmas by the Swedes. So we have a little Polish-Swedish Christmas music here for you. First you'll hear the Polish lullaby, then you'll hear Santa Lucia, then you'll hear the two of them combined. Hope you enjoy.
Good evening. Good evening. And a Merry Christmas Eve. My name is Sally Hanrahan. I'm a member of Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. I am so glad to see all of you, be it your first time or your 1,001st time. We don't have announcements today. It is Christmas Eve. So without further ado, I will leave it to our amazing director, Mark, for our introit and the amazing music that we have already experienced. Bravo.
This is a Swinging at Santa's Place.
At this moment, I would like to invite the Fortney family to come forward for a chalice lighting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We light our chalice. We will light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In the sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other. For it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please rise as you are willing and able for opening hymn number 249, On This Day Everywhere. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and with all.
Welcome, welcome, Christmas Eve to all of our visitors. Where are our visitors? Wave your candles. Our families, our children, wave your candles. I see you all. Wonderful, wonderful. And I love the little hats, the Christmas hats. I see you all. Christmas sweaters. Wonderful, wonderful. The heart of Hanukkah and Christian heritage. Oh, before I continue on, I'm Ebony C. Peace. I am your lay community minister in residence since July, and I'm so glad to be here for Christmas Eve with you all. Historically, our Unitarian Universalist faith tradition includes 6 sources. 6 sources in which we embrace as foundations of our faith. One of these traditional sources, the 4th out of the 6, is Jewish and Christian teachings that call us to respond to God's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. It is in this spirit that I invite you to celebrate the heart of Hanukkah and our Christian heritage. Hanukkah, sometimes referred to as the Festival of Dedication or the Feast of the Maccabees, is an 8-day winter Jewish festival. It honors the rededication of the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. And this happened after it was disrespected. Disrespected by who, you might ask? A Greek king who ruled over Syria and who wanted to force others to accept his own religious practices. And that's not fair, and it was rude and mean to try to force others to accept and do things that they don't want to do. All of us, we have a right to our own religious beliefs and practices. The king ordered the Jewish people to worship his god, Zeus. This king outlawed Jewish culture and spiritual practices. In doing so, he raided the Jewish temple, stole its treasure, and hurt many people. He told the Jewish people that they were no longer able to even read the Bible. He ordered them to do other things that conflicted with their faith. This king oppressed Jewish people, and this meant that he was a bully, very mean. And during this time, the Jewish people stood up to him. They would not accept being oppressed and treated disrespectfully. The Jewish people knew their inherent right to practice their religious beliefs. They chose to fight for their values and their culture. Tomorrow, many people around the world will celebrate Christmas. If you're in Latin America, you celebrated it today. Christmas, Christ Mass, the birth of a Jewish man named Jesus Christ. Jesus' birth and life are worthy of celebration. In both his words and deeds, he centered love. Jesus stood up for oppressed people, Jewish people, poor people, people with disabilities, people who were wrongly accused, people who others shunned because of the type of occupation they had. Jesus was a kind and compassionate person. He stood up to bullies, and he helped those in need, even when other people thought that they didn't deserve it. The New Testament Gospel of John in the Bible tells us that Jesus celebrated Hanukkah. Jesus was Jewish. Jesus knew each person had inherent worth and dignity. When I think about our Unitarian Universalist values, I think of Jesus. I think of his love for all humanity. When I think about the Jewish people standing up to their oppressor, many losing their lives to their cause, I think of Jesus and how he gave his life to uphold his values and faith. This year, as we reflect on the heart of Hanukkah and the Christian heritage of our Unitarian Universalist faith, may we remember that we must continue to be brave in the face of oppression and violence. May we remember that when our oppressors disrespect that in which we hold dear, that our story doesn't end there. This Christmas, this Hanukkah, my hope, goals, and the dreams of my heart are that we speak up, take action, and rededicate ourselves because we know, we believe without a doubt that love wins. That we find our truth and walk in the light and example of Jesus. Jesus, which is often called the light of the world. He was a living example of what it means to be the light in the storm and the love that arises despite being surrounded by hate and harm. We can learn to be such lights for ourselves, each other, and the world. And now we will hear from our choir. Chanukah prayer.
We come now to our offering. May the ushers please come forward.
Thank you for that lovely music and for the offertory that went to United Community. This is the last day of Advent. Advent, 4 weeks of joyous waiting and celebration of this long-awaited birth of Jesus Christ. On earth, which many in the Christian faith consider to be the Messiah, a deliverer, someone who would confront evil and rescue humanity. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we tend to hold various views of who Jesus was or is. Instead of waiting for someone to come and rescue us and save humanity, many of us tend to believe we will take the reins and rescue ourselves. This is a common view, but not held by all, but held by many, does not downplay the impact of Jesus in our world. Jesus is the epitome of what it means to center love and fight for justice. Jesus is a prophetic leader, ally, and an instrument of the divine. Jesus is a moral example of how to treat others with dignity, challenge the status quo, and find our own truth and meaning despite the pressure and threats of those in power. And so, the honor of someone so special, it's worthy of celebration and joyous anticipation. It's Advent. And we have our Advent candles right here. We have the 4 and the white candle in the middle. The English word Advent comes from the Latin word adventus, which means coming or arrival. Advent is celebrated by many Christian traditions as well as Catholics. And Saint Teresa of Calcutta, better known as Mother Teresa, she's quoted as saying this: Advent teaches us to wait patiently, to trust God's timing, and to find joy in the midst of anticipation. Since the first day of Advent, we've lit candles each Sunday, and these candles here have a sacred meaning. Every week a candle is lit, the world is filled with less darkness and more light. The first candle of the first week of Advent represents hope and anticipation. The first candle is called the prophecy candle. The Bethlehem candle of the second week represents peace and preparation. The third candle, called the shepherd's candle, it represents the joy felt at Jesus' birth. And then the fourth candle, also known as the angel's candle, symbolizes love and the announcement from the angels about the birth of Jesus. In some rituals, like ours today, we light a 5th candle on Christmas Eve. This white candle in the middle here represents purity and the light of Jesus the Christ. I invite you to join me in silence as we reflect on this year's past and what is to come. After a moment of silence, I will offer an Advent prayer, words by Cricket Hall. So let's take a moment to meditate on hope, peace, joy, love, and the light within that we offer to the world. this time of waiting, may we hold the world in our hearts. In this time of waiting, may we hold each other's hands. In this time of waiting, may we be thoughtful and introspective. In this time of waiting, may we delight in the darkness and all it teaches us. In this time of waiting, may we rekindle the fires of hope, love, joy, and peace within ourselves and our community. In this time of waiting, may we become ready for the coming day. And now I invite us into our meditative hymn, number 238, Within the Shining of a Star.
We'd ask you to remain seated, please, for this.
The longest night of the year, a time when the sun seems to pause as if taking a deep breath before its grand return. The winter solstice that has just passed, it's more than a cosmic event. It's a sacred reminder of the cycles of life, a divine promise of renewal. One of the sources in which we embrace as foundations of our faith is spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circles of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. It is in the spirit of this source that we ground ourselves in all that is winter solstice and Yule. Yule, a time where humanists, pagans, and others come together to honor the cycles of the earth and the cosmos, the breathing in, the breathing out, the cold in the air, the heat of our hearts, the rise and fall of the sun. I find this time of year particularly meaningful for two reasons. First, Yule, our winter solstice, reminds us of the light that emerges from darkness and the cycles that continue despite all things. As the earth spirals toward the solstice, we too embrace the blessed darkness, knowing that renewal comes as the light slowly returns. Yule reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is potential for growth and change. This Yule, this winter solstice, my hopes, goals, and the dreams of my heart are that we use this solstice as a moment to pause and to reflect on how we can bring more growth and change into our community here at Mount Vernon, and how we might find light in the darkness. Second, reflecting on the balance between darkness and light, despair and hope, grief and celebration. We often separate our emotions, happiness in one box and sadness in another. But what if we embrace the complexity of feeling at the same time? As we navigate this season, let's allow ourselves the grace to experience the full spectrum of our emotions. Let's create safe space for the deep-seated truths and fears and hopes that each of us bring and hold in our hearts every day. This Yule, this winter solstice, my hope, goals, and dreams of my heart are that we create space for these complexities, that we recognize the sacredness of every emotion. This season, let's honor the comfort and the loss, the moments where joy coexists with sadness. In these moments, we find true connection. May it be so, and blessed be. We'll hear from our choir, the Holly and the Ivy. Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, who's heard of Kwanzaa? Raise your hand. Heard of Kwanzaa? Yes? Yes, okay. Kwanzaa is a week-long cultural celebration that honors African American heritage. It was first celebrated in the late 1960s And though Kwanzaa is more of a cultural than religious celebration, it's also deeply spiritual. It's family and community oriented. Instead of focusing on honoring a deity or embracing the sacred reverence of nature in which we are a part, Kwanzaa invites us to strengthen the bonds of our humanity, to deepen our relationship with our families, to prioritize building a community that thrives together. I also appreciate how, because Kwanzaa is not overtly religious, it's well suited to be celebrated by people of multiple and various religious beliefs without conflict. In fact, many faith traditions, including ours, overlap and align with the principles of Kwanzaa. As shared earlier, historically, our UU faith tradition includes 6 sources. And one of the sources is direct experience of the transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. This is a source I feel most aligns with the values of Kwanzaa. In the 7 days from December 26th to January 1st, 7 principles are lifted within the Kwanzaa celebration, and these are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. The goal is to reflect on how each of us might exemplify these principles in the year ahead. It's a time to remember our roots and our ancestors while setting goals and sacred intentions of the future. In recognition of Kwanzaa, my hope, goals, and the dreams of my heart are that despite our differences and tough times that we've had as a community this past year, that we will lean into unity at Mount Vernon, that we will determine for ourselves our path to repair and recovery, that we will work together and take responsibility for what has gone well this past year and that what has not gone so well. My hope, my goals and dreams for Mount Vernon are that we leverage our creativity, remember our purpose, and never lose faith. We will have a wonderful year ahead. Say yes, yes. Wave our candles. We will have a wonderful year ahead. I don't see everybody waving their candles. We will have a wonderful year ahead. That's right. I like that. That's right. That's right. I'd like to close with a prayer for Kwanzaa, words by Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Adahe Ama Kraba. She says this: "Oh, come, all you faithful, rejoicing and victorious. Come, let us embrace the mystery and the spirit of life as we celebrate the goodness of Kwanzaa and the African American heritage. Come and give thanks for companions on the journey and the struggle for freedom and justice. Our roots in the soil and soul of Mother Africa reach far and wide. Creator of all, lead us to be true to our nature with respect and dignity. Dignity for life from conception to its natural end at death. Bless and keep us in solidarity one to another. Amen. Ashe." We will hear from our choir an African celebration, Siyahamba, African folk song.
And please join in the words we use each week to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
A poem titled, A Chubby Little Snowman. This is our benediction. This is a rabbit. This is a carrot. A chubby little snowman had a carrot nose. Along came a bunny, and what do you suppose? That hungry little bunny, looking for some lunch, grabbed that snowman's nose, nibble, nibble, crunch. May your Hanukkah be happy, your Christmas be merry, and your Kwanzaa blessed. Happy holidays, Mount Vernon.
As you light the candles, always keep the flame up, and the new candle, the unlit candle, is the one that bends over. That way we avoid any candle malfunctions. And we'll start singing after everybody has their candle lit.